Here now with reaction, Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin and Alabama Senator Britt is with us. Senator Britt, start with you. Let's see. If I recall correctly, Obama, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, Yemen, Somalia, Pakistan. George W. Bush, Afghanistan and Iraq. If I recall, Bill Clinton, Iraq, Serbia, Sudan, and Afghanistan. And I can go back to George H.W. Bush, Iraq and Panama, Reagan, Libya, Grenada. Sounds like the War Powers Act argument is long dead and gone, and they forget the new legislation adopted after 9/11 by Congress.
Absolutely. Look, President Trump is going to win the Nobel Peace Prize, no doubt. You look at what he's done with the Congo and Rwanda. You look at where he is with Pakistan and India and what he's done there. And then you look at this, what everyone talked about but no one thought was possible. He has brought peace to a region that needed stability. He has shown what America First policy actually is. He's made sure that he's preserving American lives at every single turn. Look, President Trump understands what we need. We need a president who is unafraid to act and that stands firmly with the American citizens. That's what we saw today. And look, Democrats don't know what to say. I mean, their silence has never been louder, if you know what I mean. And I think it's because President Trump just keeps winning and they don't know what to do.
Let me ask you this. After 9/11, Senator Markwayne Mullin, Congress passed a joint resolution known as the Authorization for Use of Military Force. It granted the president the exclusive extraordinary powers to target those groups and nations he determines aided the terrorist attacks or harbored the perpetrators of 9/11. The stated goal was to prevent any future attacks of international terrorism against the United States. Okay. So obviously, if the dog bites, the bee stings. If you're feeling sad and you're a Democrat and you hate Donald Trump, you want to immediately run to the word impeachment. But it's amazing the selective, phony, feigned moral outrage that we always get from them and the double standard.
Yeah, Sean, remember it was in 2011, I think it was the 1st of January 9th or something like that in 2011, Nancy Pelosi, during a press conference, was asked about Obama's attack in Libya. Remember, that attack went on for 7 months, not 12 days. It went on for 7 months. When Nancy Pelosi was asked, does the president need Congress to authorize, she said very simply, no. And she turned around and walked off the stage. So their memory is very short and the hypocrisy is loud and clear. And keep in mind, when Congress passed the War Powers Act, all it did was require the president to inform Congress within 48 hours, which he did. He informed Congress almost immediately. At the same time, it was very clear that the president, who switches from the president to the commander-in-chief, has the ability at that point to make a decision: is this in the interest of the United States from proliferate life, possibly weapons? Is it an issue with the safety of our assets and the personnel that's home and abroad? And if so, the president has well within his authorities, according to Article 2, Section 2, which has been challenged by the court, and the court has reaffirmed this on several different occasions, that it's within the president's authority to do so. And then keep in mind, to go back to what you talked about, Jasenko, the Wars Power Act reaffirmed that as long as he informed Congress within 48 hours. All that, check, 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 was done.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the president and the ceasefire agreement. What would you like to see negotiated by Steve Witkoff and Secretary of State Rubio, Senator Britt?
Look, I mean, we've seen over the last 4 years, obviously, an emboldened Iran. We saw Joe Biden kind of step back from sanctions. I want to make sure in this that not only do we cut off that money that they've been using to fund terrorism all across the region, but I want to make sure that they recognize Israel. Look, President Trump did remarkable things in the first term. I mean, when he brought together the Abraham Accords, he set the foundation for peace and success for this region for generations to come. I want to make sure we build off of that. Look, look, you can't ask the people of Israel to raise their children in bunkers. You can't ask them to live every day not knowing if missiles are going to come abroad or overhead. We've got to have some stability, and the Iranians have to be able to say, look, we recognize Israel. We want to be able to see that, and ultimately, hopefully that's where we get to. The death to Israel and death to America. I mean, if we just rewind just a year ago, right? Just a year ago, as they are swearing in their new president, chants of death to America, Sean, were in the background. That's what the people were saying. So we've got to have a total shift in posture about what we expect from them in the Middle East if we want to make sure that we're actually bringing the region together and creating stability and peace for the long term. So I have no doubt, though, that President Trump will achieve that. People know when he speaks, you better listen. They have learned that lesson the hard way, and I know that he will make sure that Israel is in a strong place, that the Jewish people have confidence and have the ability to live and thrive, and that Iran makes good on whatever promises that he has gotten from them in order to create this peace deal. So I have no doubt that President Trump will make this happen, and anyone who underestimates him hasn't been watching him.
Senator Markwayne Mullin, we only have a minute, but I hope one of the consequences of the president's, devastation to their nuclear program is that countries in the region will no longer have the fear of Iran, and that they will sign on to the Abraham Accords, and we can actually usher in a new era of real peace. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility. Not everybody can call it the Abraham Accord. It may have to call it normalizing relationships. But what President Trump demonstrated is that you can lead by strength. And when you're able to do so, the rest of the world pays attention. What President Trump did here is he reset the rightful place of the United States of being the leader in the world. And now the rest of the Middle East can breathe a sigh of relief. No one in that region wanted Iran to have a nuclear weapon. No one did. And now the best way to achieve peace is make sure you have economic ties. You can do that through the Abraham Accord, or you can do that through normalization. But the more you tie their economy together, the longer peace will happen.
All right, Senator Markwayne Mullin, thank you. Senator Britt, thank you. When we come back,
thank you.